Welcome to What's Hot in UAE, your go-to online magazine for all things cool in our cities. Whether you're a fan of massive concerts, exclusive sneaker drops, buzzing nightlife, the latest in crypto trends, or the latest in lifestyle, we've got you covered. From the hottest events to the coolest hidden gems, we bring you the inside scoop on everything happening in the scene. So, let's dive into some of what's happening this week right here on What's Hot in UAE. Let's get started.
All right, so are you ready to dive into some next level crypto strategy today?
Yeah, let's do it.
You want to know how the big players, the institutions might be shaping the Bitcoin market right now?
Absolutely.
Well, you send over this document and it's basically like a playbook for how it might all be going down. Okay. We're talking whale tactics, potential price suppression, and whether this bull run that everyone's whispering about is already being orchestrated behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's fascinating stuff.
It
really is.
All right.
It's really interesting to see these titans of traditional finance, these black rocks of the world dipping their toes into the crypto waters.
Right.
They're used to playing the long game.
Yeah.
And it's looking like Bitcoin might be their new chessboard.
Okay, so let's unpack this. The document that you sent suggests that these institutional investors might be suppressing Bitcoin's price on purpose. Now,
Interesting.
I know that might sound a little conspiracy theory at first, but hear me out.
Yeah.
If you're a whale with pockets deeper than the Mariana Trench, wouldn't you want to buy as much Bitcoin as possible before everyone else catches on?
It's all about strategic accumulation.
Right.
And it's not just about them either. If these institutions are playing the long game, suppressing prices to buy more, actually benefits savvy individual investors too. Think about it. You get to buy Bitcoin at a discount.
Right.
While these giants potentially create a more stable market, in the long run.
So it's like a win-win. For those in the know, at least.
Yeah, exactly. For those who understand what's really going on.
But how do they actually pull this off? How do you suppress the price of something that it seems like everyone and their grandmother wants to buy?
It's a bit of a financial ballet, really. They're not just dumping billions of dollars onto public exchanges like Coinbase and, crashing the market.
Right.
Instead, they're using tools like over-the-counter trading or OTC.
Okay.
Imagine a secret room where these big players are buying and selling massive amounts of Bitcoin directly with each other away from the public exchanges.
Right.
It keeps things discreet.
Yeah.
And minimizes their impact on the price.
Sounds like a very exclusive club.
Oh, it is. It's a very exclusive club. But it's more than just quiet handshakes and backroom deals. They also use sophisticated financial instruments like short selling and futures contracts.
Right.
Won't bore you with all the technical details.
Okay.
But essentially, these tools allow them to make money when Bitcoin's price goes down while they're accumulating even more Bitcoin on the side.
So they're double dipping. They're profiting from the dip while setting themselves up for even bigger gains when the price eventually explodes.
Exactly. That's the strategy.
Sneaky but genius. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Remember all of those headlines about BlackRock trying to get a Bitcoin ETF approved?
Ah, yes. The never-ending saga of the Bitcoin ETF.
Exactly. Our source makes a compelling argument. What if those delays are actually playing into this whole price suppression strategy?
Oh, interesting.
Think about it. A Bitcoin ETF would make it so easy for everyday investors to get in on the action.
Oh.
That flood of new money could send the price skyrocketing before these institutions have finished building their positions.
It's like they're trying to keep the cookie jar out of reach.
Yeah.
Until they've had their fill.
Until they've gotten all the cookies. So the takeaway here is that understanding crypto is about more than just the tech. You got to know how the game is played, who the players are, and what motivates them.
Absolutely.
These regulatory moves, or non-moves in this case, are like chess moves.
Right.
Each one potentially shifting the balance of power.
Yeah. And the implications go far beyond just the price of Bitcoin, too. This struggle between institutions and regulators, it's really going to shape the future of how crypto is regulated, how accessible it is, and ultimately how much power these financial giants will wield in this new landscape.
It's a power struggle for the ages.
Yeah.
Playing out right before our eyes.
It really is fascinating.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've talked about how these institutional investors might be playing the long game. But what does that actually mean for the price of Bitcoin? What are the predictions?
Right, that's the big question, isn't it?
It is the question.
Yeah. A lot of people are wondering about that.
It's like we're watching this high-stakes poker game unfold, but instead of chips,
Right.
they're using billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin.
Yeah, big money.
And speaking of big bets, Let's talk about these bull run predictions. Your document's practically bursting with them.
Oh, yeah. There are some really interesting predictions out there.
Okay, so what are we looking at?
Well, we've got like some serious crypto heavyweights weighing in on this one. Plan B, for example, with his famous stock-to-flow model.
Okay.
Which has been pretty darn accurate in the past, by the way.
Yeah.
He's predicting that Bitcoin could reach anywhere between $100,000 and $288,000 next year.
Wow. Okay, so like...
Yeah.
Those are some life-changing numbers.
Those are big numbers.
But Plan B is not the only one who's feeling bullish, right?
Oh, no, not at all. Even the big institutions are getting in on the action. JP Chase analysts, for example.
Yeah.
They're projecting a long-term price target of around $146,000 for Bitcoin,
Okay.
arguing that it's becoming like a genuine competitor to gold as like a safe haven asset.
So it sounds like you have these big banks,
Right.
legendary crypto analysts, and they're all pointing to this massive surge in Bitcoin's price. And it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy, isn't it?
Yeah, momentum is a powerful force, no doubt.
Right.
But there's more to it than just hype, though.
Yeah. What else is there?
Well, remember, Bitcoin has a limited supply.
Right.
So as demand increases, especially with like institutions joining the party,
Right.
that scarcity naturally drives the price up.
Right. It's basic economics.
Yeah.
But it's easy to forget that when you're caught up in like the whirlwind of the crypto markets.
Oh, absolutely. It's easy to get swept up in the hype.
Yeah.
And this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
Imagine this, you've got these institutions potentially suppressing prices like we talked about
Right.
to accumulate their massive Bitcoin stash, and then bam, the bull run hit.
The bull run hits.
Fueled by all the factors we've discussed, adoption,
Right.
scarcity hype, you name it. Suddenly, that strategic accumulation turns into an absolute gold mine.
So if this is all playing out the way we think it is, that means individual investors who understand the game
Right.
have a chance to ride that same wave.
Precisely. It's all about timing awareness and a bit of calculated risk.
Which is basically the unofficial motto of the crypto world, right?
You could say that.
Calculated risk at your own.
Yeah, exactly.
But speaking of calculated risk, let's not forget about the wild world of altcoins.
Oh, yes, the altcoins.
While Bitcoin might be the king,
Right.
these alternative cryptocurrencies have a habit of like stealing the show during a bull run
Oh, they do. They can get really wild.
all season. That's when things really get crazy.
Absolutely.
And everyone's searching for like the next Bitcoin.
It's the thrill of the hunt, right?
It is totally the thrill of the hunt.
Huh.
Our source gave a shout out to some of the usual suspects that they think have big potential: Ethereum, Cardano, Polkadot, Solana.
Solid choices.
But there was something else in there too that kind of caught my eye.
What's that?
Meme coins.
Ah, yes, the meme coins. You can't escape them.
They're part of the ecosystem.
That's true. That's true.
But what's interesting is that our source highlighted a few that are trying to be more than just like a funny name
Okay.
and a catchy logo.
Interesting. So they're trying to bring some actual utility to the table.
They're trying to bridge the gap between meme appeal
All right.
and actual utility.
And I like it. It's a smart strategy when you think about it. I mean, they leverage the hype and like the really engaged communities that meme coins are known for, but they're also aiming to offer something tangible, something that adds value beyond just speculation.
Okay.
It's about building a community that's in on the joke,
Okay.
but also sees the potential for something more.
So it's like having your meme coin and using it too.
Exactly. That's the idea.
Okay, so give me the rundown. What are these meme utility hybrids all about?
All right. Well, one example is Draghi.
Draghi, okay.
They're building on a solid blockchain platform and incorporating things like DeFi staking and NFTs.
Okay.
So they're tapping into that meme culture energy,
Right.
but they're also giving users ways to like potentially earn passive income
Okay.
and engage with the platform more deeply. It's about more than just the meme.
Right.
It's about the community and the utility.
Okay, what about Brett? What's their claim to fame?
Brett is positioning themselves as a player in the decentralized finance space. Think of them as the serious sibling
Okay.
in a family of jokers.
Oh, I like that.
They're aiming to offer like innovative DeFi tools and services while still riding that wave of meme-fueled enthusiasm.
Okay, so they're the ambitious ones.
Yeah, you could say that.
They're aiming for that legitimacy within the DeFi world.
Exactly.
All right, last but not least, tell me about Turbo.
Turbo's strategy seems to be all about speed and agility. They're focused on like rapid development, community engagement, and capitalizing on market trends as quickly as possible.
Oh, so they're kind of like the race car drivers of the meme coin world.
Yeah, I like that analogy.
Now, before we all rush off to buy Draghi Brett, and Turbo.
Right, good point.
It's important to remember that these are just examples from the document that you provided.
Of course. Always do your own research.
Yes, always do your own research.
Especially with meme coins.
Especially with meme coins. Don't let FOMO cloud your judgment.
Fear of missing out is a powerful drug.
It is. So we've talked about institutional investors, Bitcoin's price potential, and the world of altcoins, including the meme-tastic ones.
It's a wild world out there.
But there's one more thing we need to discuss, something that could shake up the entire crypto landscape.
Okay, what's that?
The upcoming U.S. election.
Ah, yes, the election. Big one.
Big one. Yeah, it's like the whole world is holding its breath to see what happens.
Right.
But how does a change in, who sits in the Oval Office actually affect something as global and, decentralized as crypto?
Well, it might seem disconnected at first, but the U.S. still holds a lot of sway over the global financial system.
Right.
Their decisions on things like regulation, taxation, even international relations can send, ripples throughout the crypto world.
Okay, so let's break it down. Let's say a pro-crypto candidate wins. What kind of impact could we see?
Well, for starters, a crypto-friendly administration could lead to clearer, more sensible regulations.
Right.
This would be huge for legitimizing crypto in the eyes of traditional investors.
Right.
And it could lead to a surge in mainstream adoption. We might even see some concrete steps toward making Bitcoin legal tender, just like El Salvador did back in 2021.
Wow, Bitcoin is legal tender in the U.S.
It could happen.
That would be wild. Okay, but what happens if someone who's more skeptical of crypto wins? That's got to be a scarier scenario, right?
It definitely introduces more uncertainty, that's for sure.
Right.
We could see stricter regulation that's make it harder to trade or invest in crypto.
Yeah.
They might even try to limit how much Bitcoin individuals can own. And then there's the tax man.
Oh, yeah. Taxes.
Different administrations have vastly different ideas about how crypto should be taxed.
Right.
And that can have a huge impact on how attractive it is as an investment.
It's almost like every 4 years, the crypto world is playing a game of roulette.
Kinda.
Just waiting to see what the regulatory landscape is going to look like.
Yeah.
No wonder everyone's so nervous.
Yeah, it's a nail biter for sure. And here's the thing. It's not just about who wins the presidency.
Okay.
The entire political climate matters. A divided Congress could mean gridlock on crypto legislation.
Right.
Which could be good or bad depending on your perspective.
Right.
It's all connected.
So with all of these potential scenarios swirling around, how are crypto investors supposed to prepare? It's like trying to predict the weather 6 months in advance.
It's definitely a wild ride. The best approach is to stay informed, diversify your portfolio, and most importantly, don't invest more than you can afford to lose. This election cycle in particular is a reminder that crypto is still a young and evolving asset class. There will be volatility, there will be surprises.
Always surprises.
And that's part of what makes it so exciting.
Exciting is one word for it. Okay, so to bring it all back to this incredible document you sent, it seems like we've uncovered a lot today.
We have. It's been a great discussion.
We've got institutional investors potentially playing chess with the Bitcoin market.
Right.
A bull run on the horizon with some mind-blowing price predictions. And of course, the U.S. election just adding this extra layer of intrigue and uncertainty.
You've summed it up perfectly. It's a fascinating time to be following the crypto space, that's for sure.
To say the least. It's like watching a financial thriller unfold in real time.
It really is.
And I have a feeling this story's far from over. Who knows what mind-blowing discoveries await us in the next batch of documents that you send our way. But until then, everyone keep exploring, keep learning. And remember, in the world of crypto, sometimes the only certainty is uncertainty.
Well said. That's a great place to leave it.